To learn more, contact your Grainger representative or visit Grainger.com/keepstock. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's The Loan Show on KSRO with George Adair. Call in with your questions now at 636-1350.
Hey, folks, welcome back. I'm live in the studio here with Robert Wagner. Marshall Field. Marshall Field, reverse mortgage expert extraordinaire. We had a question, Michelle.
We had a question
actually
from me because, Marshall, when you first started talking about this, you say that you don't make any payments, right? You take your reverse mortgage and there's no payments. Do you ever pay it back, or how do you pay it back?
When the senior passes or can no longer occupy the premises, then the loan gets paid off by their heirs, either through refinancing it or selling it. And if neither one of those options makes sense at that time, then the property goes to the government.
Okay.
Yeah, and thanks for clarifying that. Folks, there's so much technicalities here that I want to invite you to join us at our office. You can set up an appointment with Marshall by calling 583-8115. That's his direct line at Bay Equity. That's 583-8115. We'll post that information on our Facebook page. That's facebook.com/Bay Equity Loans. Remember, you can also email me these types of questions at loanshow@ksro.com. We're live in the studio taking your calls right now, 636-1350. 636-1350. We're talking with Marshall Field about reverse mortgages. Marshall, we covered a lot of ground in the last segment, but I want to go back to one thing, which is really clarifying the difference between a fixed rate reverse mortgage and an adjustable. So you're saying that if it's a fixed rate, you have to take all the money of the new loan and apply it towards what? The new principal and the old payoff of the old loan, and then you get some cash. How does the fixed rate work?
If you select the fixed rate option, then you have to take all the money that's available to you. A portion of which obviously would pay off an existing mortgage if there were one, and if not, then all of that cash would go direct to the borrower.
Okay.
In the case of an adjustable rate loan, you have the option of how you may want to take the money. You can take it in a lump sum, you can take it as monthly payments, or you can establish a line of credit, or you can do a combination of those.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. I will tell you that I think a big part of a reverse mortgage is the role that the kids or the heirs of the estate play in the decision to get a reverse mortgage. I think competency, is an issue. Elder abuse laws are an issue. Are the kids getting involved because they want mom and dad to pull money out early? Or are the kids in the opposite concerned about mom and dad getting a reverse mortgage and eating up the equity in their home? And they're all valid concerns. Marshall, what are you generally finding with regards to heirs? What role do they play in someone getting a reverse mortgage?
Well, first of all, I would strongly suggest that any seniors interested in securing a reverse mortgage consult with their family members, as well as anyone they consider to be their financial advisors as to the viability of it. With respect to the heirs, again, as I mentioned earlier, if there is equity in the property when the senior passes or is no longer able to occupy the premises, then the property can be sold, and whatever equity is still in the property then goes to the heirs.
Mm-hmm. Do you find heirs sometimes slow down the process at all? Do you find that it can confuse the process?
That really depends on the individual situation. The process of securing a reverse mortgage can be done as quickly as 30 days.
Okay. What if somebody's got their house in a trust?
Trusts are fine. They have to be revocable.
Okay.
But in fact, a lot of people have their reverse mortgages structured through a trust.
Okay. And so when they do have it in a trust, do we have there's the trustee, and then sometimes there's the second trustee. or co-trustees? Who has to be involved with that?
Well, we have to get a copy of the trust agreement, and then we submit that to the underwriting, and they make sure that it meets all of the requirements necessary as established by FHA.
Okay, well, here's something I learned just recently. Home prices are really low, and I didn't realize this, but that you can use a reverse mortgage as a purchase loan.
Absolutely.
So just like qualifying to go get an FHA or a conventional forward loan, you're saying that someone who's 62 or over with, I'm sure, a significant down payment can get a reverse mortgage on their new property that they buy.
And have no monthly payments.
That's fantastic. What are the general program guidelines on something like that?
Well, it's pretty much just like purchasing any other property.
Fixed rate loan?
Yes, fixed rate loan. The borrower has to go through the HUD certified agency counseling.
Okay.
And at which point then you can take an application, order your FHA case number, and get the appraisal, and then move forward with the process.
Okay, so they find a house, they get pre-approved really for a reverse mortgage, probably work with a realtor who's savvy and knows how to present that offer and structured the financing around it. And but the first place to start, if someone's interested in taking advantage of the low home prices and they're 62 and over, is get some equity out of another property or get a good down payment, and then give us a call at Bay Equity Home Loans. You can reach us at 583-8100. That's 583-8100, and we will transfer you to Marshall. We're going to go into our final break. Please stick around for the last segment. We'll hopefully get some calls in here. 636-1350. That's 636-1350.
To find out more about Bay Equity Home Loans, call George Adair at 707-583-8100. That's 707-583-8100.
Hey there, Sonoma County. If you're paying over 5% for your mortgage, or maybe you're underwater with your mortgage, you need to stop and listen to this message. I'm George Adair with Bay Equity Home Loans here in Santa Rosa. We're helping homeowners save hundreds every month and thousands every year. We're offering a 30-year fixed-rate loan at 4%, and best of all, it's at 0 points. You heard me right, 4% fixed rate at 0 points. Call Bay Equity today at 583-8100. Don't delay. Call us today at 583-8100. We can show you how refinancing into a low fixed rate can save you thousands on your mortgage. Please call 583-8100 and call and ask about the new refinance program for homes that are underwater. The time for a low fixed rate home loan is now. Bay Equity is your home for loans. Call us at 583-8100.
30-year fixed APR 4.12%. Licensed by the Department of Corporations, number 6053919. NMLS number 238915. Equal housing lender. Rate subject to change. We're here with Aaron from Sonoma Backyard. Aaron, you have exciting news.
I sure do. In addition to marquee spas, we've added 2 new spa manufacturers, so now our line of spas are budget friendly. How friendly, you ask? You can have soothing warm water and hydrotherapy in your backyard for as low as $28.99. We have over 10 spas on display, all priced under $5,000. And with our expanded plug-and-play line, owning a spa is as easy as it sounds. Plug it in and start playing with no special wiring required. Now's the perfect time to transform your backyard into your own vacation destination. Remember, we now have over 10 spas under $5,000 plus an incredible inventory of outdoor furniture. Why wait? Start enjoying your new backyard this spring.
Wow, Aaron, that's great news. Check out Sonoma Backyard's expanded spa inventory and their fantastic selection of outdoor furniture. They're just off the 101 on Redwood Drive in Cotati. Or go to SonomaBackyard.com. Sonoma Backyard, entertaining your backyard dreams. It's The Lone Show on KSRO with George Adair. Call in with your questions now at 636-1350.
Hey, we're back. Final segment here with Marshall Field, Bay Equity Home Loans, reverse mortgage expert. Thank you for joining us on this lovely afternoon, Marshall. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Okay, good. I think I'm going to owe you a lunch after this, aren't I? Stomach's grumbling a little bit. Hey, final segment. You know, I think this is a nice end cap to the conversation, which is how do you use a reverse mortgage as part of your retirement strategy? What sort of ideas do you have being an expert in this field?
Well, obviously, if you secure a reverse mortgage, you're pulling out that capital with no obligation to make any payments. So you have that money available to you to supplement whatever other retirement income you might have from 401k or pension funds. One opportunity that I think people should seriously consider is using a reverse mortgage to buy a multi-unit property, for example, a 2 to 4 unit property. And as long as the senior occupies one of the units, then they can secure a reverse mortgage, not make any payments on it, and be able to rent the other 3 units, up to 3 units, and use that as a way to provide more income during retirement.
That's a really interesting concept. So you can utilize this financial tool, which is called a reverse mortgage, to not only avoid having your own mortgage payment, but to actually profit and get rental income. And they allow that. So sort of to recap on that, you're saying you buy a house, maybe it's you buy a duplex.
Triplex,
you're sizing down a
fourplex.
triplex or even a fourplex. What about multi-unit? You can't use it for that, right? So no commercial uses or apartment buildings. But a lot of folks move down. They're empty nesters. They go from the nice big house on the hill, and all the kids have moved out. I was just having a conversation at lunch yesterday with somebody who's just about to go through this, and they approach their golden years with the idea that they want less space. So go buy yourself a duplex. I think it's a fantastic idea. Yeah. Are there any other strategies that someone can employ in well, let me ask it in a different manner. Does having a reverse mortgage, we've identified that it gets rid of your mortgage payment, right?
Correct.
So that means you have less outflow.
Right.
That in itself is a retirement strategy. So whereas you have to make, say, $1,500 a month to pay your $1,500 mortgage, now you can continue to make your $1,500 a month for Social Security or other means and not have to pay your mortgage. So it's like putting more money back in your pocket.
Correct.
Okay. So it is, in fact, a retirement strategy all in its own. Well, folks, I think I want to thank Marshall for joining us today.
Thank you.
And again, I want to direct you to Bay Equity Home Loans. You can reach Marshall by calling 583-8100, 583-8100. Ask for Marshall Field, or actually your direct extension is 583-8115. Either way, you can find Marshall. I want to end this show today by saying, KSRO listeners, you guys have been giving us a lot of great feedback. I get calls throughout the week, internet inquiries, through Facebook, through email. And I know that this is a short show, and I think that our listener base has been growing, and I appreciate that. We're trying to provide a lot of good information to folks out there without you feeling like you have to sit down and talk to people. But I will say you should consider coming in and sitting down talking with us. We've got a lot of professionals here at Bay Equity Home Loans. We have 11 loan officers in our location there over on the corner of 4th and E in downtown Santa Rosa. We want to be a resource to you. I answer all kinds of questions all week. So if we don't get them on the air, give me a call. I'm happy to talk with you about your various strategies. This particular segment was actually created because I had a very nice conversation with a listener about doing a reverse mortgage. And, hopefully we'll be able to develop a strategy together. It's a slow process getting a reverse mortgage if you want it to be. It's a very low pressure system. There's counseling involved, mandatory. There's mandatory education that you have to go through. So I want to make sure that you, as a borrower, are aware of what it takes. So, again, appreciate you joining us here every Wednesday on KSRO 1350, The Loan Show. My name is George Adair. Thanks again to Marshall Field. Enjoy the rest of your week, folks. We'll see you next Wednesday.